right, we were back with another PrizePicks video. We're going to be talking NBA. Got a bunch of games tonight. So before we jump into the board, I do want to just say, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. We've been ripping out content every single day, usually multiple videos today. After this video, or shortly after this video, I'm going to drop a kind of combo Monday Night Football and MLB slip. So just some more picks for you guys later on. But yeah, leave the video a like so more people can see it, and comment down below, like always, if you like these picks, if you're tailing, or if you really don't like one of these picks. Just peeped over here. Got my 400th win on PrizePicks yesterday, which is pretty cool. Maybe think about upping my unit price, as I've been at $20 forever. But it's been working, and going to keep it going. These are our video picks from last time. We had 4 for 6, so pretty solid night. Obviously, you hope for the 6 for 6, but it's tough to get there for sure. I give you guys as many picks, and I always say, pick and choose your favorite ones. So maybe someone out there, chose the 4 for 4 correctly. But Giannis, no sweat here. An embarrassing loss to the Hawks. They really got crushed. And Damian Lillard, after a great game, literally had, I think he had like 5 points. I checked late in the game, he had 0. So Giannis under assists, looking really good. Chris Paul, another very easy one, I thought, way too high at 13.5. When you see Wiggins at 14.5 and you see Chris Paul at 13.5, it just immediately caught my attention. So that was an easy one. Embiid had a great game. He kind of dominated DeAndre Ayton, as he likes to call himself. But bad call on that one. But what can you do? Sengun, leading assist getter for the Houston Rockets once again. And then LeBron, we got a little help from overtime there, but gets there with 27 points. And then Wembanyama, another game where they just got absolutely crushed and didn't have, a ton of minutes, but didn't look like he was going to get there anyway. So might stay off Victor for a little bit. But let's jump into the board today and see what we got going on. Looks like they're continuing to do these little discounts. Jimmy Butler sat last game, I think for rest. He wasn't injured or anything. So we should be fresh against Milwaukee. This is just going to be our first pick. We're going to just put this one in here and give you guys 5 more after that. But should have a good game against Miami. This is a pretty steep discount, 26% off. And yeah, he's very capable of getting that against a Milwaukee team that, is kind of lost some defensive presence with no more Jrue Holiday. So Jimmy Butler should have his way there and get over that 16.5 line. But let's jump into our next pick here. Let's start off, I guess I'll go in order of like games. Looks like I'm doing a lot of the earlier games. But we'll start off with Derek White. I'm going to go to his blocks and steals line. I'm going to sneeze. Might not. Okay, I'm going to keep that in because I never edit my videos. But Derek White, 1.5 blocks and steals. He's gone over this handily in each of the 2 games so far. In preseason, he did it in those games as well. He's definitely the best blocking guard in the league, no doubt about it. And 1.5, blocks and steals. He could get there just with his blocks. He could get there just with his steals. I do want to open up his page here and kind of show you what he's been doing lately. Let's just get to his page, and then we'll go to his blocks and steals tab. Looks like we're a little slow here. Might refresh the page. But yeah, like I said, they kind of have in that Boston locker room, it seems like they have like a tally on who's going to get the most blocks as a guard. I know Jaylen Brown was talking about it. Obviously, Jrue Holiday's there. But Derek White is just explosive. He blocked like 2 Jimmy Butler dunks the other day. So someone that can really get it done. 7 of his last 10 games, you can see he's very active on the defensive end and just has a little added oomph to that with Jrue Holiday there and with Jaylen Brown, trying to be a little bit more defensive as well. But I think he has a very good matchup here in Washington. I was actually checking this out before I made these picks already, and then this is kind of like some extra data to back it. But looks like the Wizards give up like a ton of steals to point guards, specifically at 3.5, and also blocks at 1.66, specifically 2 point guards. So Derek White, really good spot for him, and I'm loving this play today. Odds are liking it as well. So taking Derek White as the second play on top of the Jimmy Butler discount. We'll stay in the same game here, and actually the same team. We're going to go to Porzingis. Going up against his team that traded him for, he was in that Marcus Smart deal, but he was playing for the Wizards last year. He knows how to play this game, and then another thing is the Wizards give up a lot of 3-pointers this year, and we've seen Porzingis be wide open on the pick and roll with Tatum. Just easy money threes. He shot pretty well last game, only got 17 points, but it was a game where Boston's starters had like 120 points combined or something. So really everyone had it going. We can check out his points and assist line. Looks like it's at minus 125. I'm not touching it because he has 1 assist on the season, but that's something you could look at for sure. I'm just going to go to his 19.5 points. Obviously, the last 10, he has done it in 7 of his last 10 for a different team, in that Washington team. But someone that can light it up in a hurry. He's getting the shot attempts as well. 15 and 12 shot attempts so far this year. And he had 8. I want to say he had like 5 threes in that game also. We can, so 5 threes in game 1, 2 for 6 in game 2. So if he shoots his standard like 38% from 3, maybe he drops down 3 threes. And again, playing with maybe a little more oomph in his previous team. So 2 Celtics to start us off, Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis. Then let's go to Benedict Mathurin. Now this line was at 13.5 earlier, trending upwards in the right direction. Mathurin is just like a flamethrower when he plays well. He did not get it last game. You'll see he had 13 points, I think, I want to say. Yeah, he had 13 points. But before looking into that, you don't know that Aaron Nesmith had a great game and played a majority of the minutes. Bruce Brown obviously getting 30 so minutes. He starts alongside him. But Mathurin only ended up playing 17 minutes in a big win against Cleveland. And that was just because Aaron Nesmith was on fire. I don't think Nesmith's going to do that every single game. Obviously, he's kind of more a defensive player. But Benedict Mathurin obviously is going to score in bunches, and in the game he only played 17 minutes. He's getting 13 points. So 8 of the last 10, we know what this guy can do. The shot attempts should be there, and if he gets his normal, 30 or so minutes, I think this should be, a lock. Odds are liking it too, at minus 125, and a solid matchup against Chicago. Nothing too crazy. I know Patrick Williams might be guarded up with him a little bit. He might see DeRozan a bit, Zach LaVine. But yeah, liking Mathurin here for the 3rd or 4th pick. And then let's go to, next up, talking Trae Young. This might not be a popular one. I'm going to go to his points, and I'm going over today. He hasn't hit this line once all season. In the 3 games they've started so far, he's had 23, 18, and 20. But we know that, obviously, Trae Young is someone like Benedict Mathurin, to a very different extent, is someone that can fill up the stat sheet very quickly. He's been diming the ball pretty well, but just has been shooting absolutely horribly. And today, maybe, he breaks out of that slump. His rebounds line is also something I was definitely looking at. I don't think he has one yet, but if a 2.5 rebounds line comes up for him, Trae Young, don't think it's gonna. Yeah, but if you see a 2.5 rebounds line, that was looking really well. I was looking at that earlier. But let's go to Trae. 24.5 is at minus 108. Actually, the DVig odds are giving us minus 132, so we're seeing pretty good value there. In terms of the last 10 games, he's done it in 5 of the last 10. But we know what Trae's what he can do. 64% of the games last year he went over this. He's like a 27.5 points per game scorer. And I think he breaks out of his slump today. I think he's going against a solid Minnesota defense. A solid matchup for him. He'll probably see Mike Conley a lot. They could sick, Nickeil Alexander-Walker on him for a bit. But the Hawks have DeJounte Murray they have to worry about as well. So I think, Trae could find success against this team like he has in the past. Gone over in 4 of the 4 matchups in the past year. Played them last, 2 years or whatever. But a team he, seems like he likes to play. And let's just look at his percentages so far this year. 2023, again, the 3 games with horrible percentages, let's remember. Almost got there game 1 and is getting around 20 points in the other 2 games. Field goals attempt, 4 of 19, 4 of 16, 5 of 14. So I think Trae kind of breaks out of this, again, takes advantage of his matchup with Mike Conley, and really, really has a good game. So Trae over 24.5, I'm liking it today as well. And then to round out the 5, one of my favorite plays of the day, I'm going to go to Jakob Poeltl. Another guy that has started off the year really slow. Can I spell this guy's name right? Jakob Poeltl. I'm going to go to his points, rebounds, and assists. And it's because I know he's capable of doing more than what he has done so far. He's been in a limited minutes a few of these, or in one or two of these games for sure, because of foul trouble. But I don't think he'll have to deal with that with Ayton. We've seen the Portland Trailblazers give up a ton of like fantasy points to centers specifically. We just saw Embiid dominate them. But for centers specific to fantasy points, which would be points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and all that other stuff, Green in all these categories going up against Portland. And specifically for Poeltl and Ayton, I've looked at their matchup a little bit farther, and it looks really good as well. He seems like he plays decently well. Hasn't played him as a part of this Mavericks or as part of this Raptors team, but I think he has not a breakout game, but better than what he's done so far. And I've been watching the Raptors a bit. He has not been as involved as he typically is. You can see the minutes is at 23-24. But to end last year, let's see what he was at. Yeah, he's more of this 28-30 range. So with Scotty Barnes, kind of breaking into his own, and taking on a little bit more of the role. Maybe he has a tiny bit of a little usage rate or less usage rate than last year, but he's been really, really close on these games. Some of them only playing 18 minutes. So if he sees that 24 to 30 minutes, I think he should get here in a really, really good matchup for him. So I'm liking Jakob Poeltl. This is showing under. We want to go over here. We're getting great DVIG odds at -155 as well. So the odds are in our favor for this one as well. So Jakob Poeltl, I think, has a really good game. Him and Trae Young kind of in the same boat in terms of guys that haven't started the year off too hot, but I think should have breakout games tonight. So to recap really quickly, we're taking the Jimmy Butler discount, 16.5 points. He's well rested, should have a decent game, and that's a line that he can easily get, obviously. Derek White at 1.5 blocks and steals. Really like his matchup with Washington, and he's just playing like a firecracker out there already to start the year. Porzingis going up against his old team, 19.5 points. I think if he gets, that third three potentially to go, that's maybe if he gets there or not is what going to be. If you see like a 2.5 line for Porzingis on 3-pointers, maybe go ahead and look at that. But I think Porzingis should have a great game. And again, that Tatum Porzingis to pick and roll is something, pretty to watch. Benedict Mathurin at 14.0. If you got it at 13.5 early in the day, I think that's even obviously better. But, he scored 13 points in 17 minutes last game. He usually gets around 30, 32 minutes. So if Aaron Nesmith is, getting his normal minutes and Mathurin's getting the run he usually gets, this should be an easy line to hit. And then Trae Young at 24.5 points. We're going over here as well. Jakob Poeltl at 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. All overs today. So it should be a fun day to watch some basketball. Definitely stay tuned for the Monday Night Football MLB combo that'll be releasing shortly after this. And you can mix and match your favorite plays from each of those videos. But definitely let me know what you guys are doing in the comments down below. Like the video. Let's get this to 100 likes. We broke 100 likes the other day. Love to do that again. But yeah, that should do it. Hopefully make some money tonight. Let's watch some sports. Have a good time, and peace out.